Hey folks, I'm Rob, one of the guys here at I Know Some Guys, and thank you very much for joining us for the very first, whatever this turns out to be. This is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time, but as with many things, timing never seems right. You don't necessarily have the right equipment, you don't have the best lighting, you don't have anything other than a basement dungeon to film in, which they've promised to let me out of if I just get this right and get it done. So here's hoping for the best. It's only been, 10 days, but this is the one. Primarily what I want to do with this type of thing is provide folks out there with some of the trials and tribulations that we've gone through setting up our small organization of I Know Some Guys, coming from a point where we, Jesse, Dave, and I had nice cushy jobs, I'll call them for lack of a better word, to suddenly not having them anymore and deciding that instead of relying on someone else to keep us employed, that we would do it ourselves. It's not always easy, and it's oftentimes frustrating, and there's lots and lots that goes into it that a lot of people don't understand. So we'll try to get you some of that information, or at least from our perspective. Obviously, different for everybody. But along with that, one of the things that we are very good at is working with Notes and Domino, doing application development, doing a bit of administration. We're very comfortable walking into a place, gathering information about what you've got going on, giving you some ideas of how you can improve process. We have done a bit of interim management here and there. So, you lose somebody for any number of reasons. Suddenly there's a hole left in the organization, and there are a number of ways to deal with that. Many of them complicated. One option, which I'll get into somewhere down the line, is the idea of an interim management person, usually me, to step in, figure out what's going on, help keep things running, help get a process in place for finding someone new, potentially helping to evaluate that person as well, getting the lay of the land, so to speak, and keeping everybody moving instead of having to worry about who's going to decide what happens next, or are we going to grab poor Joe Schmo, drop him into the management position. Oh, and by the way, still need to do your other work, but also get on top of all these other things, which isn't exactly fair. So nor is it necessarily productive for the organization. So we're an option for that. As I said, more on that later. We are sorry, my screen went dead. It's got all my stuff on it. There we go, much better. So hopefully we'll get the opportunity to do some more of these, maybe get the guys in on this. I would love to get Jesse and Dave involved. Jesse, plenty of technical information at his website, where he does his blogging. Still haven't convinced him to move it over to iknowsomeguys.com yet. We'll get him there. And Dave, also awesome. He and I are from the same, I'll call it old school thought, before much of this stuff was around. So you don't hear a lot from us necessarily, but we have lots to say, or at least apparently I do. So we'll get them in there as often as we can as well. Other folks too. So if you've had some experiences, had some issues, interested in sharing that, send them along. If we can get you involved and put you up on camera, or perhaps audio podcast at some point, or even just reference your material directly through a voice, mine, Dave's, Jesse's. We'd love to do that too. So send it in. Those of you that know us, if you have questions or particular topics that you'd like us to touch on, stories you'd like us to tell, because there are many, let us know, and we'll see if we can get them out to you. There is, before I forget, shameless plug. You guys should get used to that if you're going to come back for more of these, because I'll throw them in whenever I can. For those of you at CollabSphere this week, I know it's kind of late and rushing it for you, but you should know that Jesse, the one and only, the Wonder Boy himself, will be presenting. He'll be presenting Dev 115, preparing your X-Pages applications for a changing future. That's happening today, Monday, 10/28, in the Brooks room at 5:45. He'll also be, tomorrow, on Tuesday, he'll also be working with Graham Akers in Dev 103, Developer Tools for the Next Decade, which is kind of a chat session, roundtable type thing. Go pick their brains. Graham, awesome guy, right up there with along with Jesse. I'm always going to put Jesse first because he does crazy things. Lastly, on Wednesday, if you're still there early in the morning, Dev 112, getting the calendars into your dominant web applications. He'll be there with Howard Greenberg. We work with Howard a lot. Howard's really good as well. So lots and lots of good people there. That's one of the nice things about CollabSphere, is that there are plenty of people that you can work with, people who understand your pain. Notes in Domino, I'm a big proponent of, have been since, late version 2. I won't tell you what year that was because that'll really date me, as if the white hair doesn't. But go check them out. They're all 3 of those are fantastic presentations. Sometimes I'm not there, so I get to just say, oh, go to these 3. But I know that there's lots of competition and there's plenty of good information out there and lots of material to be had. Get as much as you can. Talk to folks. Get all the information that you can from them. And if you see Jesse running around, as he's wont to do, buy him a beer, get him to spill what his latest crazy, batshit thing he's working on this week. I should also mention that, as we'll discuss as we go down the line here with some future videos, I'm also primarily the guy that's always complaining about funds. Yeah, I'm the monetization guy. Hey, that's great, Jess, and I'm sure that the community would love it, and give it to them for free. I'm also the guy who goes, oh, Jess, but that crazy thing that you're doing that nobody thought was ever possible, and now suddenly we need, and you've done. Yeah. Nah. Usually doesn't work out. So hopefully, by that I don't mean that the money doesn't come in. What I mean is we eventually fold and say, well, everybody would love to have this, so let's just give it away. So we do, or he does. Pick your poison. Really? That's going to be the issue, huh? You can remove it in post. I'm being told there's glare on my glasses. There's always glare on my glasses. This is one of the problems with glasses. You get glare. Either that, or I can have 3 chins and look down all the time like this, and then you don't get the glare, but I look kind of shitty. So we're not going to do that. Although now that I've done that, it'll be around forever. You guys can just remove it in post. Oh, I can remove it in post. Oh, then in that case, my apologies for the glare. We'll see if we can do something a little better or different next time around. As I mentioned, I am also the guy who likes to talk about money. So we will, I'm sure, look into the options available to us to, turn on ads and, all the stuff you're used to clicking, skip and add and next and all that stuff anyway. So, sorry.